to another episode of Perspectives with Gwen. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Today we've got another powerful guest of ours, Usis Thabiso. She is a certified life coach and also an NLP practitioner. She'll tell us all about it because I'm not really clued up with life coaches, but again, she's here to delve us into that and also much more. Sis Thabiso, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence at Perspectives with Gwen.
Hi, good evening, Gwen. I'm happy to be here. And thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I think today's episode is going to be one that is, I said it's preparatory in a sense that what we're going to speak about is something that 50% of the people will go through. If you are married, you are either going to become a widow at some point. If you do lose your husband first, you will become a widow, and also some people will get divorced. So I think it's also a conversation that most people run away from because it's not something that you anticipate. I think when someone gets married, I'm not married yet, but I believe when you get married, the last thing you want to think about is divorce or losing your partner or your husband or your wife. So, and you are here to take us through that journey and much more, because where you are today is phenomenal. And it's beautiful to see, and the woman that you are and the woman that you have become, I believe, through that journey and through that pain, because I can only imagine that the pain that comes with that. And a lot of people, we've come from a terrible time of COVID also, where people have lost their loved ones, and that includes their husbands and their wives, and just their loved ones in general. So the conversation that we are going to embark on today, I think is very close to most people, especially now that we've just recovered from COVID, where people have lost their loved ones unexpectedly, and it's just drastic. However, life has to go on. So how do you move on from there? How do you pick yourself up, So maybe Sis Thabiso, just tell us. And also, did I not mention, she's a mom of two handsome young boys. Two handsome, very smart young boys. So you're an all-rounder. And take us through maybe your journey from maybe your marriage till the time where you lose your husband. May his soul rest in peace.
Okay. Where do I start? Oh, I got married very young.
Okay.
I can say he was actually the first serious boyfriend that I had.
Oh, wow.
Shortly got pregnant, had my first child. That is when he decided that he just wanted to
get married.
Yeah, let's get married.
Okay.
So in that, we were together for 14 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, the marriage, with all the dynamics of marriage, the most beautiful 5 years, and on the 6th year, that's when, I felt the turbulence of marriage.
You felt that I'm within.
Yeah, it was when that was a defining moment for me, which I look back to that moment today and I understand why I had to go through that season. So all I can share is that it was a year before my husband could pass.
Okay.
He actually left me with my kids.
Sure.
So I suffered infidelity. So in that journey, he met his death. But then my deciding moment was when, during the time when he was away, I had to now remember who I was before the marriage.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I picked up that a lot of times we go into marriage, it's beautiful, but then we lose ourselves. You wear the identity of marriage.
Wow.
And to me, after the whole thing that transpired, I discovered that marriage is an office, or it's something that which God has entrusted me with. It is not who I am. So in that season whereby him not being around, I had to now go back to the identity. Who am I when this person is not here? And you know, actually there's something big that's coming. So that period was actually preparing me to widowhood, because I did not even get the chance to sign out of my marriage. Just when I have decided, I'm signing out, I think it was 4 days before I could summon him with the papers to can say I'm divorcing, he passes. So in all those elements, that's when now I discovered, God, no, this is bigger than me. So it's something that which I have been holding back, holding it very close to my heart. But then now, all the time when I'm supposed to address now the issue of conscious parenting, remember there's a part that which I discovered another beautiful and profound journey of parenting. Seeing how my kids suffered in the period whereby they longed to see their father, but their father wasn't around. I saw how they suffered. At the same time, that is me now going through my own traumas, my own painful season. But now my kids were faced with now having to lose both parents. Because now the father is not there, the mother is also going through the emotion and the trauma of being left. So that is when I think seeing them longing for the mother that which they know. We were one family that invested in activities, we would do things together. So now the structure and the dynamics of the home has now been
changed,
dismantled. So now the kids, there's confusion in terms of where must the kids go, what must they do. So now it was a matter of in me seeing myself suffering and also looking at my kids longing to have that mother they used to have. It was actually when I decided intentionally to can say, you know what, if I have to fight back for life, I'd fight back just so that my kids can at least have one parent. And the journey was just beginning.
Wow.
The journey was just beginning. So my husband passed, and even in that I became the wife. I had to bury him. So the people that know the dynamics and the depth of the story are those who are very close to me. But one thing I picked up in my journey is that as I continue to share the honesty and the authenticity of what has transpired, I actually feel better. So now, why am I hiding what has happened if I feel better after sharing? And when I say that, the person that I share with my own experiences with, they also find hope in my story. So it was that thing of saying, anything that which I do not own up to, it owns me.
Wow.
Anything you do not own up to, it owns you. Any pain that you do not heal, you become prisoned by it. So the fighting back, it's being intentional in terms of what activities do I engage myself in. The activities included me going to gym. I go to gym now, but not as I normally say, I'm not seeing. So now,
there's nothing really pushing me at this point. So let me give myself a break,
So that was me giving myself, actually healing myself, not knowing the gratitude. I'm one of I follow wisdom and wellness. So there's a part that speaks about gratitude. Like that's what I learned in our gratitude. I'm like, because gratitude, it moves your focus out of what's not going right. You need to zoom into something that
you have.
Right. What you have. So now, with the trauma is you being focusing on something that you cannot control. A lot of struggles, Zabantu, it's something ezayo or something that has passed. So now, gratitude, it makes you present. It draws you back to the now.
Sure.
Okay, now,
What do we do now?
but I have a shelter over me. Okay. Ngilele ngavuka. Regardless of how I feel. Then it means that I have something to be grateful for. So gratitude, it's an antidote for ushona. I say the more you are grateful for what you have, the less chances of you being defeated by what you are going through.
Sure. You know, one thing I've never thought of, gratitude can actually be a healing instrument.
It is.
Wow. Thank you for that.
It is.
I think most of us downplay gratitude. I think we were talking about this on our way here actually with my producer, that most of the time we're suffering from a generation that wants more.
Yeah.
I have a car, but I want a BM. It must be the latest one. You know, but you're not grateful for the fact that you wake up in the morning and you can get in your car and you can go. Like the simplest things, like simple things like that. Let alone waking up in the morning, I still have life. I'm breathing. I'm healthy. I'm sane. And I think one of the few days ago, I was like, do we even thank God for waking up, acknowledging Him as God? You know, things that are very simple, but are you cognizant of what you have? And I think it's very important that you're touching on gratitude being a healing instrument for loss, what you don't have. And I think also getting into how can one then best be present for themselves, but also for their loved ones, because like you're saying, you have 2 boys now, and also boys need their dad. You know, the boys want to get physical. You know, they want to play hardcore, and here you are their mom, and you're trying, but also you're trying to live for you and hold on to what you have, but also you need to live for them so that they are alive, and also they also need to thrive, and they also need to grow like other kids. They need to have everything that they want to have and need, and also I think losing a life partner also takes away the means or the benefits that you had, because when we're together, at least one can help with the finances, one can help with this and this. But now when you're alone, it's like, okay, how do I become fully present for them and for everyone else and for myself? You know, it's a lot. And I think most people struggle, or maybe the healing journey might drag, because it's like, but it's taking a toll on me because I have to be present for myself and for someone else. You know, how does one really just get in the groove of being present for the next person apart from themselves?
The first issue I need to address is we are not meant to be self-sufficient. So understanding Yami, it's firstly I had to go back to the identity Yami. Who am I?
Yes.
Where do I draw that from? The highest power. Highest power meaning that to me it's God. Other people may be calling other things their highest power. Yes. But drawing from that, it gave me the assurance that I am not meant to go through this journey alone.
Okay.
So now it's relying on God, who allowed me to go through, or who allowed the situation to come my way. Because firstly, it's the awareness of any issue that we find ourselves in. I believe the Bible has actually made provision for it. Because every scripture, remember, it's God, it has been breathed by God Himself. So every scripture which is, for every problem that you have, there's a scripture that addresses the issue. But now, there's no way you will know that if you do not have a relationship with God. So, firstly, I had to address the issue of where do I draw strength from? Because currently, I have none.
Oh, wow.
So, scripture is in our weakness, that's when God's strength is revealed. God is not revealed in the cars, in the houses, in money. He's revealed in our weakness. So I considered myself privileged when I went through that, because as I read, I remember there's a post I put on Instagram, plus social media for that, because the days I would cry the most, I would go online, I call it my open diary. There's a part where I wrote, that was the day when I buried my husband. I wrote, there's a part I wrote, a message I wrote speaking about, God, I'm grateful that I'm weak because I know your strength will now be
revealed.
Yes. It means that I can now speak of God, knowing Him for myself, because I'll be able to now experience Him personally, in terms of, you can't say God is a healer if you did not
never
have
needed healing.
Yes. So I can safely say God is my healer because I've seen Him taking me from one season of hardship to now. I empower people with my story. And the day I reframed the story to can say, this is actually not mine. The burden of actually having to feel shame, even when you go around people. No. I went through that, but I am not my experiences.
Yes. Wow.
So when you are saying now, where do you now get the courage and the strength, and how will you know that you'll be able to survive this? It's knowing that we are not supposed to be self-sufficient.
Yes, wow.
God is our source of strength, and if He allowed the situation to come your way, it means that now my kids have God as the Father now.
Sure.
So I'd say I'd use the tagline "awakened by experiences." It means that all along I did not use the privileges that I have of knowing that God has gifted me with the strength, the power. He's actually not God when because normally we run to God when we have things to go and seek. But He's God in everything. He's not a circumstantial God that when I'm in hardships, that's when I want to pray. No. It's a constant cultivation of the relationship. But then now I was gifted with pain so that I may know where my strength comes from. At my lowest, I found myself on my knees, but that was the best place because the only way out of the situation, I had to look up. And as I'm looking up, when you look up, that's where your help comes from. God is the one that's above everything. So God, and knowing that you do not have to do it all by yourself. And if God allowed you to go through that, it means that He has already even made provision for your situation. So your partner may be taken away, but you now have to go to God, go to Him and ask.
And also He gave you the partner in the first place.
Thank you.
And He knew how long it's going to take.
Thank
then
you.
He knows what's going to happen afterwards. So do you then think it's important to be careful of the source of where you get things, because if you don't acknowledge that it's God who has called me into marriage, I think it's going to be very difficult to acknowledge that God has given and God has taken away. Right? So the source of our accumulation, the source of our relationships then should be centered around God. If you believe in God, check, is this coming from Him? Because if it comes from Him, He has prepared and provided for the entire journey, not just the marriage that you got into not knowing how it's going to end, but He has prepared for the entire journey. Sure. I think what I love about you also, you're you're very out there in the sense that you enjoy going out, meeting people, engaging in conversations, whether it's through an event, it's through a podcast like this. You really enjoy just being out there and mingling and engaging and having a good time with people. Where there's a good time and there's nice, beautiful ladies, also is probably gonna be there. I see on Instagram, I'm like, okay, there was this nice event happening. Oh, okay, girl. She was there and she looked absolutely gorgeous, and you are just living life, lavishing. How important is engagement with other people? Exposing yourself to the world, basically, after even having gone through such a traumatic experience.
I think a tragedy or the loss actually awakened me to can say, hey, life is too short. And trust me, life is too short. A lot of times we get consumed by the gifts that God has given us. Remember, the marriage is a gift, it's an office, it's a season. But then as I am there, I now limit myself to the box of marriage. So now, with me, now it has been taken away. Where to? But in after surviving that, I told myself that, everything that which Thabiso Soul 6, I go after that. Because I understand that tomorrow I may not be here. So in losing my partner again, it was that thing of saying, if I had identified myself with marriage, marriage, then what?
What am I left with?
Only to find that part, it was just God saying that there's more to you than just...
Wow.
So when you see me out there, it's anything that which my soul seeks. I go after that. Being surrounded by different women from different aspects of life, you know what I picked up? You rise and fall to the level of how much you know. So now with the healing as well, your healing is only limited to what you've been exposed to. So if you don't go out there and check with, you have boxed yourself to your situation. So as a life coach, I'm a conscious parent in each it's the focus is a conscious parenting, because as I was going through that season of healing, accepting in the loss, I discovered the profound way of raising abantwana. We got this thing wrong. My kids don't remember the things their father used to buy for them. They remember the moments we shared. They remember the experiences. So how many parents are actually giving their kids stuff instead of being present? As you go out there and be that woman that is striving, checking in all the boxes, the goals, do you intentionally schedule time you can actually spend with your kids? Are you that safe space for your children? So now it's the connection-based parenting. It's the presence over the present, as in the tangible stuff. Because at the end of the day, even when we go through hardships, trust me, our kids go through the same. I come very strong. When I now decided to even change a career, it was that call to can say, anything that which I survived, it's not for me. There's a reason why God gave me another chance at life. It was for me to can help those who are still stuck in the same season that I just survived. I'm the best person to can address the issues of the things that I survived. So trust me, our journeys are all different, but God is intentional in terms of what you go through or the experiences that you have in life. They're actually equipping you with tools that you can use to help the next person. So surrounding myself with the different, where you find me in different spaces, I know that my level of awareness is only limited to what I've been exposed to. So just as the children, your child can never say they love ama ribs if you've never taken them to spread. So with us as well, whatever that you know is only limited to the places and the people you spend or expose yourself with. So the different seminars, the different women empowerment events, that is me drawing from different women coming to share we don't have the same experiences, but trust me, our stories together, I stand a better chance of surviving anything that may come our way, because I know when went through this. I know someone else has went through this, but we sit around the table, everyone brings in their own different strength or experiences or the wisdom that which the profound, because trust me, with what I've been through,
there's wisdom.
No one went through what I've been through. Because I know part of almost getting divorced. I know now widowhood. So I can say that if someone is saying I am going through divorce, I know how it feels. If someone says I'm a widow, I'm going through a season of loss, I'm the best person to can help that person survive that season, because I have been gifted with having to experience both. And the way that I looked at my situation, I reframed a season that was meant to kill me. I took power out of it. I am running with the fact that, you know what, if God saw me fit to can survive that season, He clearly has a bigger plan than actually what I thought. What I thought. So in those different spaces that you find me in, it's me trying to find even the people that I can help.
Yes, so true. So true. Because you never know the people that we come across and what they need and why we ended up being in the same space together. You know, there's no such thing as a coincidence. I don't believe in that. So everything that happens in our lives was meant to happen.
That is true.
I love how you take your boys with you along the journey, and you are intentional about parenting. And also, you're mentioning that you've gone through the stages. So a widow can come to you, or someone who's thinking of getting a divorce can come to you, but also a single parent can come to you now, because you're doing that, and also you're doing it well. So there's a single parent out there who says, how do I do this by myself? How do I identify with my boys, and I'm just here as a woman? What do they need? You are here and you are doing it. Also, you are, I think you are very generous. Want to share your story in the way that you have and you are doing, and I think I can never thank you enough for trusting our platform to actually come and share your journey and share your story. I think it's one that most people want to keep to themselves, because obviously it's very sensitive and it's very personal, and it's parts of you that you want to share in very careful snippets. For someone who's looking into marriage, wants to get married, what can you say? And also, you mentioned that you got married young. Nowadays it's easy to get married. Financially it's easy. Every single day someone is getting married. And it's beautiful. I believe in marriage and I advocate for marriage, because I think it's one institute that God intended for every person to get into. It's a family structure that is divine, and the outcomes of it are beautiful. Can't measure it. So, but then how do you prepare? What do you wish maybe you knew, or maybe what do you wish you understood better as a young person, looking forward to it and getting excited? Okay, I'm getting married. Everyone gets excited when they're about to get married. But what do you wish you knew?
What do I wish I knew?
Before, yes.
Sure. I think the one, if I were to put it, I give you an honest answer. I think with the experience that I've had, it's one experience I wouldn't wish for my worst enemy to go through, but at the same time, I do not even wish for God to can turn it all, because of how much it has actually brought into my life. Yes. So what I wish I knew, it's that who I am.
Before getting married.
Yes. My identity. First. I can only make it through because of who I am, and it's who I am in terms of what is God saying Thabiso is before all the things that which He gives me, or all the places that He would actually plant me in. Because trust me, without the identity, you find a fish outside of the sea.
Yes.
You know how it dances, because like uNkulunkulu is the one that gave us the identity.
Yes.
So the things He gives us, and we are not supposed to be identifying ourselves in. Yes. So that's why there's a verse that speaks of a season. There's a season 4, there's a season 4. Yes. So in that I picked up, okay, one chapter that ends, it's not my life that has ended. That's why identity, your identity in Christ, not your identity according to society or what people perceive you to be. Because a lot of us, we go around wanting to give people the version to unfortunately, if you lose yourself, or if you don't know yourself, or if you go around not with a strong knowing of who you are, then you are in trouble. So I think if you are saying that what I wish I knew is that you'd always have you to walk around with. So trust me, get Thabiso right.
Yes.
Anything that may come your way, if Thabiso is firm or uyazazi, then trust me, I even lately I'm saying that there's no hardships, there's a piece of a puzzle, because once you identify into as shame, as hardships and whatnot, that's why now no, it's a piece to who I have to become. Because now minus that piece, it means that you don't have Thabiso who is a life coach, you don't have Thabiso who is a conscious parenting coach, you don't have Thabiso who is a speaker, because I'm a speaker as well. So there's certain things that which without that piece of Impilo Yam, there was no way I can tap into those offices, because I'm not equipped to can actually occupy that office.
Sure. Wow.
Hey.
You shared a mouthful with us, and I think it's something that we needed. It's something that I needed. What you have shared is mind-opening, and I think that's one of the objectives that we have, is to give people. And also I love the fact that you mentioned when we were talking why you chose to come to our platform. You just said perspective. You resonated with perspective. You said, I have a different perspective. I have another perspective that I can share that someone might not have. And I think you've given us a perspective that most people, or everyone actually will come to appreciate, and like I mentioned to you, I said, this is not an episode for the people that are going to watch it next week or the following week or whenever. Someone else in the next 3 to 5 years might come across it and they want to end their lives, and it's one thing that I pray for, that if they come across it, they get to hear Thabiso and say, whoa, there's life after this. There's life after that experience, And I'm really, really grateful to God that we had this conversation. Your parting words, what is Thabiso up to now? I mean, Vela, where are we going? I can see you're obviously doing well where you are currently, but there's obviously more that you want to venture into. You have goals, you have ambition. What can we look forward to from Mrs. Thabiso?
Okay, a conscious parenting coach.
Okay.
I call myself a beacon of hope for anyone who feels they've hit rock bottom, because I discovered the power of the mindset, the power of having a choice. We always have a choice in terms of when you hit rock bottom. You always have a choice. So it's just that we were not taught the how to. So a parenting style that I'm bringing forth is equipping parents in terms of the most beautiful thing you can give your kids. It's emotional intelligence. these things, you cannot prevent things from coming. Hardships are part of life. So imagine not being equipped survive just imvula ezona.
Sure.
Take a raincoat, take an umbrella,
Yes.
open it up, walk. So I'm very intentional in terms of coming forth strongly and equipping parents, giving them strategies in terms of how they can parent their kids with the awareness. They can parent their kids with allowing them to be, because I understand abantwana, they come complete again.
Yes.
And saying to parents, it starts with self. One thing I'm very intentional about, Enye, it's trust me, to the level of me being healed. Anything I do not heal, I will pass it to my children. So I do not want to be passing any traumas, any hardships. That's why the healing process again, I had to heal, and I remembered, or it hit me that, hey, your kids went through the same. That's why now I had to take them through almost the same process that I went through. So I equip parents, I help them out in terms of that. And again, I'll be having an event that's coming soon that I can't disclose as yet. But yeah, I'm working on a plan to can gather women. We come in one room, I get to share now. Because trust me, you can only be intentional about something if you've suffered the pain. I think, again, the change in the lifestyle, the change in how we parent, the change in how you take yourself serious is after you've suffered an impact of not actually taking care of yourself. That is what I'm bringing forth. And I think in the next 2 weeks, I'm booked as a speaker. Grace Unfolded, or Grace Unfold, but the topic there, it speaks of healing and acceptance. You can't heal anything you do not want to accept. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going there and actually sharing the things that I have used to can survive my own season of pain, which I look back and I'm actually grateful God trusted me get pain, because trust me, the story is not mine. The way it was, I haven't yet even started sharing it.
Yes.
But trust me, I'm allowing God to be God in every space and everything that I engage myself in. But I'm here for the parent who's saying, how do I continue living after this? I'm saying, I'm here. If I have managed to survive it, I'm now your roadmap. Yes. Use me as a roadmap to can say, I'll also survive this. Yes. I'm also available for those coaching sessions. The events that I go to, one can come there. There will be something that you would pick up. Because trust me, we die or heal to the level of our awareness.
Sure. Hi guys. What an episode. Thank you so much once again for sharing yourself and sharing your story with us. Like I said, you can check out Thabiso on her Instagram. I think she's very active there. You can share your Instagram handle if you don't mind.
Okay, a personal. Yes. It's Thabiso 24. I call it my open diary. So now, Gunenye, the one for work, it's Thabiso Parenting. And then again, there's another one that which it's Beyond Side Kids Adventure. That is another coping mechanism that I use. Maybe I can share a little bit about it.
Yes, please.
That Beyond Side Kids Adventure, that was me as I would hike. Oh, okay, I feel better.
Yes.
Abantwana they don't want to talk about how they feel at home. Today I took them hiking, all of a sudden they open up. Wow. Oh, okay. They share with their friends. Oh, we went hiking. Abangani bayeza bazotwala. Hi, ani nathi lapho then. Wow. Okay. Next time, Mania, please take us with. Okay, tell your parents we are going. Bring money. So that's how Beyond Side was born. I used abantwana to can heal myself, and at the same time,
you're healing there.
The more I expose them, when you expose kids, you actually, that's an empowerment for abantwana. Wow. Exposure is actually you giving your child a different perspective to life. So yeah, if Beyond Sight, that's another platform that I use now to can bring forth strategies to can help us with the issues that we have. Abantwana, screen time. Our kids are raised by a cell phone, but now it's because abantwana baborekile. And why baborekile? It's because of we are not there to can parent them. So go to your room, play with your phone. But I'm here to can say, I can take your kid out, but it will come at a cost. So yeah, I guess uNkulunkulu is he knows the desires of our hearts. He knows how to, actually the things that which you think you are playing, you are not playing. It's you are being equipped to the season you are going to tap into. I'm bringing something that we should solve future problems. A lot of us haven't yet seen the impact screen and our TikTok and whatever that is very loud is doing to our kids. But trust me, up until you suffer the impact of what social media or technology has done to your kids, that's when you would say, no, I want to give my child a different perspective to impil, because human interaction, it's no longer there as well. So as we go to those trips, we speak, we play, you find kids, babuya, it's a form of relief again for abantwana. So yeah, Thabiso is here for the parents, is here for the children, so it means that I'm the bridge in between.
Oh, you are. Certainly you are. A strong one indeed. And I know I'll get there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sister
No,
Thabiso. As she mentioned, please do check out her pages, her personal page, and also if you want to take your kids through. I think also if you want to also help out, if you want to reach out and you feel like you can support her in the journey that she's embarking on, I think it's a very, very important initiative. We need more places and people that are actively raising the next generation, because we rely on them to take us on to wherever we need to be going forward. So thank you so much. That's all we have today for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you till the next one. Goodbye.
Yay.